for a lot of people, they've seen this as a revival moment for our country. And it culminated, I would say, or at least hopefully it hit the starting blocks with the memorial for Charlie Kirk over the weekend. And it absolutely shattered viewership records. There are reports that over 100 million people watched the Charlie Kirk memorial, which would put it on par with the Super Bowl, to put that in perspective. And the Super Bowl is truly spectacular. This happened over the weekend, as we all know. And it was, you saw, 2 million people watching over on Fox. You saw another 1 million people watching on AP. You saw the Charlie Kirk YouTube channel, 3.3 million views. Rumble had a couple million people tuning in. The Charlie Kirk YouTube channel, it went crazy. And then that does not count X. That doesn't count on traditional TV, which I think, the other aspect of this, which was really amazing, is that this was going on against the NFL. And the NFL is the king of TV ratings. So to see kind of how that's gone, it's very impressive. And I think really speaks a lot to people's affinity for Charlie Kirk, as well as it's more like a statement about where people are at right now. I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts on that.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
There's a revival of Christianity going on in this country right now. I think that's great because our society was much better when it believed in God.
I went to church for the second time in a row this week. I went last week, and like I mentioned this before, I've kind of been, our family's been kind of the, we'll go if we have time type of thing, but we've really made it an effort the last couple of weeks to go. And I'll tell you this, I feel like I need to get more involved. I've always been, the thing I don't like about religion is when people shove it in your face, right? That's what I've never liked that. And I don't think I ever will like it, but I totally understand the purpose and the need for religion. Flash, you
makes
said
better community.
Does.
Oh, gives people something to believe in, and we all have a moral fabric to laws that we can agree on. Like, I don't know, not killing somebody.
Right. I like people who shove religion in people's face, to me, are like no better than your vegans who are like, oh, I can't believe you eat that animal flesh, right? And it's really sanctimonious and I've never liked that, right? But that's kind of the general thought when you think of Christians or whatever is this this idea of shoving religion. At least that's how it's been portrayed in media, right? I think of what's that damn movie where Amanda Bynes plays the Christian girl, but she's bad.
Oh, Easy A.
Yes, Easy A, and she's really, she's a hypocrite and stuff, right? So that's how it's always been perceived. And I was thinking about this last night. I grew up with a guy who
I have to disagree with you. The people that I see shoving their shit in people's faces the most are atheists.
That sometimes can be true too. Yes. It really depends. It's a measure of, going out there and how you actually go out and fight for whatever it is you believe in. Because belief structures, we talked about this very briefly in the pre-show. I grew up Roman Catholic from a Polish man who was second generation, so fresh off the boat was my grandparents, and Eastern European Jews. So I also grew up in the Jewish faith too. And folks need things to believe in. They need structure. They need a sense of community, a sense of place. It does, to me, because I see different faith structures and I was raised around many different faith structures. To me, I don't care so much what you believe so much as how you go out and live those beliefs. If you tell me, thou shalt not murder, don't out and go fucking kill people. If you say, I'm not going to go steal, thou shalt not steal, don't go out and steal. And that means don't try and get one over on people too. Don't try and be subversive. Go out in trustworthy ways and build a society that you could be proud of and that your children would be proud of, and that the people who came before you, who tried to build these things for you, would be proud of too.
Preach, brother man. Preach. Well, I'll tell you what.
Exhausted, man. Surrounded by liberals.
Hey, somebody who needs God in the worst way is Destiny. And we saw
That guy, man.
My God. I don't understand how this tweet is still up. And maybe he's just straight up trolling. I don't know. But this tweet right here, this Charlie Kirk memorial is indistinguishable from a Nazi rally, and fuck anyone who wants to pretend it's not. I mean, I don't quite understand how you can get there. This is the way it looked right here, and this is where this guy is broken. I just feel empathy and a sadness for this guy. I guess that's the best way to say it, to know somebody is so broken and so just vile and evil that they could feel that way.
He's 100% addicted to probably Adderall. I think he said he takes Adderall, doesn't he? Like, you see how his jaw moves and shit when he gets in his little speedy rants. It's just gross.
Yeah, the Destiny cocaine clip. We've shown it on the show several times here, but this is not a healthy person, both I would say mentally, physically, or spiritually by any means.
I'm like looking for the nose rub.
Well, right now he's messaging 15 or 16 minors to let him know what he's going to say to her in response.
I saw
this dude has a lot of shit in his. And not even in the closet anymore. And they let it all go because, he hates Trump and the right. So you can literally be a rapist and they'll prop you up if you hate Trump. That's all. That's the only qualification.
I saw an interesting theory about Destiny today, and that was that he says this stuff that are just vile and disgusting and evil with the intention of being a martyr for the left. The idea that by the way, not the left, but like leftist, like the idea that he wants to be the Charlie Kirk for them because his life is in such a broken way that he's hoping somebody takes a shot at him.
Oh my God.
And that's a theory that I saw today, and I don't know if I necessarily agree with it, but I think it is worth at least talking about.
The victimhood and the martyrdom complex from people who are just sitting inside their homes and talking into a microphone. Listen, I wish I could have been Charlie when Charlie was Charlie, because he actually did the one thing in the world that I envy the most. He actually went out and talked to people, and he shook hands, and he built bridges, and he stood firm in his beliefs. And these are values, these are core beliefs that these guys cannot go out and actually stand on their principles and defend. They'll go out and they'll get heckled and they'll get booed, and they will just lose in the court of actual ideas, in the marketplace of ideas. It's time tested every time. And so all they're doing is just going out there trying to play on people's emotions because it's all they got left. It's just sad to see. It's all he's got. It's just to make people feel mad. Tell everybody it's just Nazism. I saw a photograph from when I was in high school of them comparing Bush to a Nazi. The guy literally hangs out these days with wounded warriors painting pictures because he feels so bad that he had to send men to die. What do you want from us?
Well, you mentioned the debate aspect of this. There was actually a pretty interesting debate where Destiny got called out. I saw this and I thought, well, that's pretty fucking funny. He gets called out for using AI. Check this out.
Wait, just real quick. I'm just going to ask for one thing. I don't do this in general debates, but I'm just curious.
Sure.
Okay. And if you don't have it on hand, that's fine. But like, what is our source here for like Jews stealing the land? Like if we had to think of like one, because I mean, the Pilgrim Mission itself doesn't refer to this. I don't think any of the prior white papers, because I think there were 5 or 6 prior to this.
Oh, you're you're Googling, you're using AI right now? I'm debating you and AI?
Okay.
No, that pause is so telling.
Yeah, pretty rough.
Woof.
Play the clips of him going out to public and getting called like saying, I can't say what he got called, but
Yeah.
How many dicks you suck, Destiny?
Right.
Have you seen that?
Well, he's doing his public speaking tour.
Yeah.
And he's getting, and that's the other aspect of that is he's going out and doing this, and he's doing it in public, and it goes back to the idea of him wanting to be a martyr, right? The idea of him wants to be put up on a pedestal with all this stuff. Someone who has been put on a pedestal is Hasan Piker, and there was a lot. I don't know if you guys saw his reaction yesterday. It's him reacting to Donald Trump calling out influencers in his speech. Did you see this during the memorial yesterday?
And then he just will add on, Charlie loved it when I did this stuff over and over again.
Influencers and others in our society who greeted his assassination
Wait,
with sick approval,
What?
excuses, or even jubilation. You've heard that. So have I. Couldn't believe it.
He's coming
Some of
after
the very same
influencers.
people who spent the last 8 years trying to sit in moral judgment of anyone who disagreed with them about politics suddenly started cheering for murder. Incredible. You know the names. They're losers, by the way.
The look on his face down there, huh?
I love it. He's like, womp.
Let's continue here.
Loser.
Oh shit. Here we go. Yeah, the look on his face of like, and let's see how this plays out, because this is going to play out almost exactly like you'd expect it to.
In a short period of time. Some of the very people who call you a hater for using the wrong pronoun were filled with glee at the killing of a father with 2 beautiful young children. And the same commentators who this week are screaming fascism over a canceled late-night TV show where the anchor had no talent and no ratings.
That's
Last week
true,
we're
but-
implying that Charlie...
Oh, I think our president is hitting a lot of really valid
The
points there.
ratings are terrible.
Yes. All right, let's see how this
Poor
you can see
son.
the
He's having a
reaction.
little meltdown. Look at him.
Little bit. Let's see how this
is that-
finishes.
Never mind.
Okay.
Does it say, did he leave? Because the empty chair.
No, he's
that's
just leaning his head on the desk.
No, but he's about to leave. Let's see what
empty
happens.
chair
with this.
with the stream running. That's a major
Kirk.
Hasan thing.
Yep.
deserved what happened to him. No side in American politics has a monopoly on disturbed
my
or misguided people.
God.
But there's one part
Quite
of
the
our political
commentary.
community which believes they have a monopoly on truth, goodness, and virtue, and concludes they have also a monopoly on power, thought,
I
and
love
speech.
Donald Trump,
Well,
Mr. President,
that's
I love
not
you so
happening
much.
anymore. We've turned
Oh my
that
God.
corner very quickly. Tragically, atrocities of this kind, and
He broke.
kind that we saw in Utah, of all places, are the eventual consequence of that kind of thinking. If speech is violence, then some are
think we're good. I
bound
think
to
we're good. I think
conclude
we're
that
good.
violence
Okay.
That's pretty stupid.
Let's be
Wow.
okay. Can here's the thing is that this is comedy here, right? But I think that if his feet were to the fire, this is exactly how he would react. Is he would turn like everything that he's saying. I don't think he believes any of the shit that he's saying as he lives in his
I don't
$1 million
either.
house at all, right?
He was the professor.
Right. Yes. He was all about getting that pussy, y'all. Hey, dude, let's get that pussy, bro.
Which is weird because he's gay.
Yes, that is odd, isn't it? Allegedly gay.
I
Maybe,
hear he
don't
hangs
know.
out in West Hollywood quite a bit.
Well,
That comes from people that live out there.
I think that he
So-
would. I think that in reality, he would totally jump on the bandwagon if that's where he knew he could make the money. I think
Almost certainly.
100% would. Yeah, put
Well,
on that
it-
MAGA hat and go crazy. Yes.
It depends. He couldn't do it now. He's too big in liberal circles. He's too entrenched in
Oh.
it. But if 5 years, not even 20 years ago, if 5 years ago things hadn't transpired the way it had, and he had an opportunity to flip and join the bandwagon when Biden was elected, and he took that, he absolutely would have taken them up on it if he knew that it was going to grow his audience. Because at the end of the day, that's all he's out there to do.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Here's the thing: is you're talking about a guy. He would be the ultimate reclamation project. This is a guy who was broken, and then he saw the light. He saw the light, and he came over, and then all of a sudden he'd be champion. Look, we took the biggest, and this is something that you're going to need to be very careful of with all these people who are like, I understand now, right? And they're coming over. There's the sheep the wolf in sheep's clothing. And I think that people would prop Hasan up if he did flip, which I'm not saying he's going to by any means, because it's way more profitable for him to do what he's doing right now. But if he was ever to flip, which I could see him doing because he's spineless, that is something that I could see a lot of people who are centrist or right leaning would be like, we got to prop him up, and it would be potentially more profitable. I don't know. I mean, I could totally see that.
Only those who would be on the very far right end. If we're going into like the alleged woke right that exists on some certain paradigms, if you want to go that far, sure. But there is absolutely no part of me who at least thinks of myself as being center right, who's ever going to look at Hasan and be like, that guy's who I want as a leader. No, if you want to come and join this 10, absolutely. But I'm not going to prop you up as the guy who should be calling the shots, because I don't trust you as far as I can throw you. My arms are noodles. I can't throw you worth a damn.
Mm-mm. Well, there's look, we've seen streamers have really bad takes, and they're bad, right? Destiny is just a vile piece of shit. Hasan flip-flopping all over the place. And then there's people like this who may be the worst of the worst in society. Blabs, did you see this young she/her?
No, I actually avoided the internet all weekend, so I have not seen like any of this stuff.
Let's see what's going on here.
Period.
She is, to put this in perspective, she is at the memorial, and she is protesting the memorial.
Oh my God, that was
Lucky she didn't get her ass fucking whacked.
Yeah, and that's where I think people are a little too tolerant. Here's a little more close 30 seconds with her.
I don't think he should have been shot, but I am glad he is dead.
Why?
Because he's a detriment to society.
How?
Oh, just like everything about him, you know.
How often do you hear
They
that?
never know anytime
Never.
you ask them, like, how is he racist? What did he say? They never have an answer.
Well, he just is.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Please tell me. But it's sad.
It's always hearsay. It's always a measure of like, oh, somebody told me that. It was some sort of person, some sort of influencer that I listened to who told me that Charlie Kirk was the bad guy. So it's not even like they did their own research and actually listened to anything he had to say.
No, you're correct. Somebody told me that he was a bad person, so that's what I'm going to believe here. I didn't watch anything, but I'm pretty sure. Just, Jimmy, Jojo, they, them told me that. Let's continue here.
But what's he done that's terrible? Like, could you name a couple of things?
Yeah, of course. He said the civil rights movement was a mistake. He doesn't believe in abortion. You know.
So he should be dead because of it?
Oh, I didn't say that. I said I'm glad he's dead, but I'm not happy that he got shot.
Can we stop really quick and look at this? Like, look at her poster here. She put a lot of thought into this. Like, there's a drop shadow on Rotten Hell. Like, she wrote Rotten Hell, and then she wanted to put a drop shadow on it over here to make it pop more. She went in and created the blood splatter, and she spent a lot of time on this. And at no point while she was doing this, she was like, maybe I'm the giant piece of shit. I think that's the most amazing thing about this, is that she just is so tone deaf to it.
It's incredible. It's like, would you trust this person to have power? Would you trust this person to be president of the United States, to make decisions on who should live and die with executive authority? I wouldn't.
I wouldn't trust her to make my sandwich. Ooh. Like, I wouldn't trust her to do anything. It should be public. It should be quick. It should be televised. Rot in hell. surely this lady has been found, and she's been like, you can't fire somebody for going to a protest. But
why don't
what
they
are you
ask her-
protesting?
Yeah, why don't they ask her what she I mean, we know what she means, but they don't ask her specifically, what do you mean by this? What, like, she says she's not for him dying, but then immediately turns around and goes, oh yeah, I'm not saying he should die, but here's my sign right here that says that anybody who thinks like them, this is exactly how they should go.
Well, you see this, and I think this post really summed it up right here. Imagine being more upset about a canceled TV show than a political assassination and still thinking you're a decent human being right here. As some people were upset that, we saw this memorial across the board yesterday on a lot of channels, and people were pissed about that. Like, it tells you everything you need to know about some of these folks and their insanity here. Now, I'll tell you this. One of the most amazing moments of the memorial yesterday was when Charlie Kirk's wife, Erica Kirk, the new president of Turning Point USA, was on stage, and she forgave the shooter, which was a very emotional moment. Blabs, did you see any of this yesterday?
I saw everything, like the clips that were obviously clipped out on Twitter. So I've seen this. I've seen a couple other things about her speech. She is one like brave, bold lady, that's for sure.
Yeah, and this is the clip, and I was watching this in real time, and it was one of those moments that hits you, and you immediately think, she is way better of a person than I will ever be. And here's what she had to say.
That young man on the cross, our Savior said, Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do. That man, that young man, I forgive him.
Look at the reaction from the crowd. Like, this was people crying in the background. It was crazy emotional. See the lady back here. I mean, this is. When she said that, I was like, like, I could never, ever, ever say what she said right here. But let's go finish up here. A standing O for saying that. I mean, like, totally moving, at least for me. I don't know, y'all's thoughts on that, because I think she's, like, talk about fucking classy.
That's the right thing to do. It is. Everybody keeps talking about turning the temperature down and everything like that, but the whole point behind this is it's not to go out and do what was done to Charlie. It's to trust a system to do the work of justice, and then for all of us to link hands and then collectively take one step forward and say, we're going to make some serious changes for the betterment of all of us, and you're going to listen to us now, because we are many and we are mighty. And, like, that's what I see, and that's what I feel when I listen to her talk and forgive somebody like that. Because, like, we as a Christian person can forgive, because the murderer is no longer a private enemy to her. But the state will still go out there and will do its work to punish, because that man is still an enemy to the public. And that's where we have to be with this statement. So.
You could almost tell that prior to her saying that, like, if you go back to the video here, Phoenix, she's like looking up. I'm guessing to God, just saying like, this is what you want. This is what you want from me here. And, you know, her like she was either, I don't know. I don't know what she was going through her mind here, but standing in front of 60,000 people in a giant stadium, standing, you know, literally millions and millions of people watching around the world, having that much class and belief in your faith to say that, man, like I said, she's a better person than me. Blabs, what are your thoughts on Erica Kirk there?
I mean, I feel like it's the right step for her to process grief and move on with her life, right? Because if you're so angry all the time, you're never going to be able to like move on. So I understand that. For the whole religious stuff, I can't relate to it. Would I be able to forgive someone who murdered my husband? I don't think I could be able to do that. But again, part of like the grief process is forgiving so you can move on and so you're not angry for the rest of your life. But again, like I said, she's very, very brave. As long as
she's not going to forget.
Well, no, exactly.
Right.
As long as like the people putting this piece of shit in court and trial and everything don't use this as like some type of escape, like, oh, the wife forgives, you know, it's fine, you know? Like, I hope that doesn't happen.
But the point of forgiveness is to let go. And I think what people forget, and this is going to be a quick test for everybody on the panel and for everybody in chat and watching at home. What is the opposite of love?
Empathy. No, it's just nothing. It's
hate.
Apathy.
It is indifference. Blabs is correct. It's indifference. Because hate, you still are getting a reaction out of somebody. They still have control over your emotions because you're still kowtowing to anything that they are doing. But if you just shut that off, if you let go, if you forgive and you move on with your life, that's the teachings of Jesus. That is what Erica Kirk is trying to do. She's trying to say, I'm going to let go and I'm going to build moving forwards in the image and memory of Charlie. That's what she's trying to do. So don't let hate take root. Don't let them get off with it either, but move on and let go. There's
Mitsu,
power in letting go.
You're better than me, Mitsu. I would.
No, I'm not.
Listen.
I wish I was.
I would be. I just look at my family, and I cannot imagine the utmost rage that I would feel if something like that would happen. Let me say this right now. John Wick went crazy after his dog died. I would straight John Wick the fuck out of everybody if something happened to my family. Like I would go on a murderous rampage and taking down all the bad guys. She's better than me. I certainly wouldn't stand in front of 60,000 people saying I forgive. You know,
Yeah, I'd be like that. I'd be like that dad at the phone booth that turned around and shot that dude in the head.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
so good is her faith that she is saying, I am surrendering my own sense of justice and revenge to a higher authority, which she's putting her trust in the state, the people, and God to take care of that kid who killed her husband. I say kid, he was like 22 years old.
Yeah,
He's not a kid. He was a fucking adult. Fuck him.
Yeah. Well, I think we can all agree she's better than all of us.
By any stretch of the imagination, she is an incredible human.
Right. You know who's not? The people over at Deadline, the definitive choice for industry insiders, as after this 8-hour broadcast of faith and love and admiration and prayer, this is what they took out of it. Charlie Kirk Memorial sees Donald Trump rail against Jimmy Kimmel and radical left in tribute to slain MAGA activists. I hate my opponents and I don't want the best for them. That's the headline. That's the headline that they took out of this entire 8-hour broadcast here.
Of course, that's all they wanted. They heard what they wanted to hear, and they're going to say what they want to say. I blame El Presidente for doing it. I'm not entirely sure all of that speech was necessarily necessary or the right venue for it. But
Agreed.
That being said, of course, Deadline was going to fucking do it because they got the opportunity for it. So,
keeping in mind that we're coming off like this poor woman here is forgiving her shooter, but no. This is the headline. Good old Donald Trump. And so there we are. That's what they took out of the whole thing. But But
I find it funny that they're highlighting that because they're the most hateful motherfuckers there are. Like,
aren't they an offshoot of Gawker? Were they Gawker Network or Polygon Network? I can't remember. I'm going back to Gamergate days again. Fuck. God, they were part of one of those.
So long.
Yeah, and changed hands like twice. Oh my god. Yeah. So.
But you know, like this is the media, and this is where they're broken. They're absolutely broken. They could have taken some other things out of this, like. Listen, Flash, I know you're going to be very excited about this. I'm sure I don't know if you saw this, but Trump said that today will be the biggest announcement medically in the history of the United States. Did you see this, Flash? Let me go play this for you.
And tomorrow we're going to have one of the biggest announcements, really medically, I think, in the history of our country. We're going to be doing it with Bobby and Oz and all of the professionals. I think you're going to find it to be amazing. I think we found an answer to autism. How about that? Autism tomorrow.
Where do I get my treatment?
Hell yeah! I'm gonna be normal.
I'm ready to be normal.
Well,
I'm so
speaking
excited.
of the White House, they are currently live on like a starting soon screen where it says Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt briefs members of the media. So there is going to be something real
Are we
soon.
the media? Can we be briefed?
That's a daily thing. You know,
Well, it could be the announcement then, though.
maybe. But if they're going to do this, if they're going to do it, you would think they'd want a bigger press conference. If they found the cure for autism, I think that they'd want more than Caroline.
I thought it was that Chris Chan like destroyed the Sonic 2 medallion, but apparently he's already done that. Extra Zero just texted me. He's like, "No, you already did that." So I was like, "Oh, I guess
like
that's not it."
It was like that
Just
positive
Horcrux?
wave in Power Rangers when they broke Zordon's tube. Like when he broke the medallion, it just sent out a positive wave and wiped out most of the autism.
Man, that's so funny. With that said, hey man, apparently what they're going to say is this is kind of the rumor that's being thrown out there is that Tylenol in pregnancy is linked to 3 times higher autism and an ADHD risk here. Which, if it's Tylenol during pregnancy, holy shit. Like how many use Tylenol during pregnancy? If that's the case, I don't want to dig too far into it. But I'll tell you this, man. If that's the case, I said this over on X.
It's always been advised not to take Tylenol when you're pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so much shit women can't do when they're pregnant. Well, they're not supposed to.
Well, you know, if this is the case, I said this over on X. Gaming is cured if we found the cure to autism. if it's like, hey, all of a sudden everyone kind of returns to normal, everything's fine.
Simulation genre is completely dead.
Right. the Sonic fandom is over.
Gone.
It's ridiculous. Yes, and wouldn't
That's
it be
the end
funny?
of anime too.
Anime is done. It's
Completely.
all done. Yeah.
That's the end of Japan, because Dragon Ball Z basically props up their economy at this point, and I'm not even making a joke. You can look it up.
Damn.
Dragon Ball makes a shit ton of money. So
It
does One
does.
Piece.
And it's not just Dragon Ball Z. You have to think of the fact of all the merchandising and everything that it props up to. So all of those partners and all of those deals would go down if Dragon Ball went down as well. And it's all money for Japan. So yeah, weaponized autism is saving Japan basically at this point.
Oh my God. Well, I'll tell you what. The video game industry has been. We've seen a lot of boneheaded responses to the Charlie Kirk assassination, but there is one developer who actually put Charlie Kirk in a game with a positive light. This is from M. Dickey over on X. Says it may not be much of a tribute to appear in my crude games, but it is what it is. Thousands of students will find Charlie Kirk right where he wanted them, between the flag and a history lesson right here. And here's gameplay of this right here. They put a picture of Charlie Kirk on the wall here in their game. So, you know, cool little thing right there. It's not all bad. So there you go. Video game industry, you're not totally fucked up. There's still an opportunity for you to reply. So
when you think about it, the most Charlie Kirk game is The Sims. What did he say to do? Go out, get married, have kids, teach yourselves, educate, multiply, blah, blah, blah. What is that? Ask The Sims. Go play The Sims. It's the most Charlie Kirk game you can play, everybody. Conservatism rules. Trust me.
When you played The Sims, did you ever put them in a doorless room?
Of course. When I was 13, I was a fucking psychopath. I just grew up. Mostly. We all were. Are you kidding me? Oh, put him in the pool and take off the ladder. Yeah, that was great. Make him repair the TV with no repair skills.
Blabs is a psychopath. We know that. She plays Roller Coaster Tycoon, and she just
I
wants
blow
everybody
everybody
to die.
up and I make them land in the water too. So it's like two stones. Yeah, or one bird. Two stones, one bird. Whatever.
You put them on the magnetic launch coasters and you just launch them straight off into the water. It's the greatest thing to do.
Yes, and they blow up and die. And it's like 13 people have died. I'm like, yes, personal best.
Yes, nobody's coming.
You play video games for for things you can't do in real life. You know,
Dude, I can't wait.
I liked
for,
killing all the
Jurassic
scientists in GoldenEye too.
Jurassic World
on the dam
Evolution
level.
3 comes out in like a couple of weeks. I can't wait for the T-Rex to eat the people while they're canoeing. Hell yeah, you can canoe in that game. Let's
Fucking
go.
communist scientists, you're done.
Cannot wait.
Fuck you, Henry Wu.
Do you have common sense? Well, if you did, you'd hit the subscribe button right here.